So hi, I'm Goodham, and I'm here to show you why I'm not making PoE2 videos yet. Now, I'm not the best ARPG player, unlike people who play literally every ARPG, but I started the new game doing what I always do, waiting 4 hours for the servers to start working. Then sniping names for my collection, and failing, but say hello to the new owner of CNN, ESPN, Sports Center, and Elon Musk. Rat. The game is in beta, it's broken. Obviously, some things are experimental, but there are some interesting decisions. One of the first game zones is a homage to Diablo 2, which is great. Ah, the maggot layer, everyone's favorite Diablo 2 zone. I wish every area was just like it. Please roll me up in a carpet so I can pretend to be a blood maggot, then toss me off a bridge to end my suffering early, so I never get to Act 3. Now, I'm an American, and I'm not orange-pilled enough to fully appreciate the urbanist, pedestrian-friendly design, where I get to enjoy my lack of movement speed to the fullest extent. This game is broken, mathematically. A mechanically broken game with interesting interactions that creates insane power spikes is fine. You get the right RNG or combine just the right ingredients and make something powerful. That's terrific. Right now, PoE2 has a whole variety of broken things, and I don't even know where to start. With this, I guess. There's a shield that can overcap your ally's block, 80% out of a max of 75% block. Is this working as intended? Is the stat sheet broken or correct? I'm not going to bother testing if this is correct because that would entail getting hit and accurately recording the block rate of hundreds of attacks to have enough statistical certainty that block actually is overcapped instead of just capped. Then there's this belt, Ingenuity. It's ungenius, as in it's just dumb. Not even broken, it's just dumb. What it does is give you between half to a full extra item slot. To explain how this belt is broken, let's look at the ring Calandra's Touch, which copies your other ring, a perfectly balanced item. Now imagine this ring saying, it copies your other ring. Twice. That's what a perfectly corrupted Ingenuity belt does. The current minimum roll on this belt should be the maximum roll. Situationally powerful for certain builds, but no longer the mindless best in slot for literally every character. This belt's existence in its current state will destroy the future design space of unique rings, much like how my gloves inadvertently destroyed the design space of curses. The item is toxic to game design. For the good of the future game, it needs to be nerfed to hell, or removed when the game gets out of the experimental beta phase. Meanwhile, Infernalist can snapshot the stats of items and jewels, allowing Infernalists to have hundreds of stacks of Demon Flame, and ignore actually having a build. Elemental Discharge does not discharge charges and should probably be renamed to Ailment or Elemental Ailment Detonation. Temporal Chains once again doesn't have a speed reduction cap. You know, I already wrote a whole script about how effects with asymptotic power scaling should instead be math as a multiplier on an exponential on the base effect, but did anyone listen to me? No, because I haven't bothered to make the video yet. Please leave a comment saying, Gouda, honey, I love you. Please teach us how to make mechanics in an ARPG balanced but incomprehensible. Happy New Year. Hand emoji, eggplant emoji, firework emoji. There is a jewel that gives +3 gem levels. +1 would be great, but +3, did an intern's finger slip? I'm not sure. Are gem levels even good? On damage spells, sure, gem levels provide a decent damage multiplier while mana costs scale at a higher proportional rate. Damage per mana point spent decreases with additional gem levels after 20, and without sarcasm, this is great. In fact, I think mana scaling should be even more extreme. With the ubiquity of gem levels on gear, it should become a dead stat eventually, limiting your ability to scale damage with gem levels if you aren't able to handle the mana cost and forcing you to look for alternative stats on gear. Spells seem to optimize damage per mana point spent at around level 15 to 23 before falling off, except Spark, which doesn't have a soft cap on projectile count for some reason. Weapon scaling skills, on the other hand, have optimal damage per mana point spent at level 1. Starts bad and gets even worse. But this mana scaling also applies to things like curses, such that most curses are near worthless to level up. Like this hypothermia gem. Wow, I love spending 3 times as much mana for what amounts to 12% curse effect. This much duration, and midget to manlet amounts of additional reach. In PoE1, you could mitigate negative scaling effects by locking your skills to level 1, like I always did in the long ago times with things like Arcane Surge. However, PoE2 has minimum skill levels, and with plus gem levels all over the place, you'll accidentally turn an expensive curse into something that eats half your mana to cast once, or eats half your spirit to use with Blasphemy. So stock away those level 7 uncut gems for curses. Unfortunately, I don't have any left, as all my level 7 gems and myself are already already cut. The damage is done, but it's all fine. The game is in beta. Balance is secondary. Right now, it's a good time to experiment with insane items and stats. GGG should first fix the real problems like performance, crashes, exploits, dupes, and security. The beta league doesn't even get sent to standard when it's over, so don't worry too much about it. And now...
Leave me alone!